hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks for joining me. I have a special treat today. I am joined by my beautiful mama today, and I'm actually we're gonna talk makeup and plan some makeup today for her. So we thank you for joining us, and we're gonna jump right in. I'll kind of show you how I use our Limelife products to enhance natural beauty, and let her kind of share the experience with you. So thanks for joining us. This is my beautiful mama. See, we just got done taking her face off and using some of our Limelife skincare to get her skin ready for trying all these great products. So we used our Dream Clean and Skin Therapy, the moisturizer on her face. Felt light.
Feels wonderful, yes.
Awesome. So we're gonna jump in with our prime spray. All right, and I'm gonna just spray this over her face. Does that feel like we got it everywhere? Awesome. So basically this spray is gonna be the first of a pair that's actually going to help set her makeup and her face for the whole day. So she won't need to do touch-ups, to anything, eyes, blush, anything like that. So this is the first of a duo that we recommend that works perfectly with our foundation. Our foundations at Limelife are a wax-based foundation, and so you're going to want to have this setting spray and this base spray to keep them set all day. So we're going to go in. These are two of our concealers. This 01 is more of a color correcting, so it's great for if you have redness, if you have sunspots, if you have, a little acne that's popped up, some trouble spots. This is one of our other concealers that you can use for highlighting, contouring, that sort of thing, or of course just as your traditional concealer. And then this is one of our foundations here. So we're going to go right in to this 01 concealer. Like I said, it's color correcting. These are wax based, as I mentioned, and so you can actually warm them up using your finger. So you can just gently go into the palette with your finger and apply. That works really well, especially if you're looking to try to get some of these specific spots. So I'm going to have you turn just a little bit so we can see. So we're going to barely just apply that over that sunspot, okay? And trust me, I promise it'll all blend in. She won't have this spot. But what we're doing is we're kind of color correcting that spot and hiding that spot, that discoloration in her skin. All right, so this is just one way you can do this. So applying it with your finger. Another is our Blenderful, which is really good, especially when you're doing under eyes and things like that. But I also use it to go blend in. So once we've applied it with our finger, you can go in and kind of blend that out a little bit. And again, we're gonna be adding foundation over this, which will add an additional layer of full coverage for her. But you really want it to blend in before you get that. So we're gonna go over some of these little sunspots and up there, okay?
This is driver's side. Driving.
Driver's side, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, and you're gonna get great protection from this. It's not gonna have an SPF in it because a lot of it, that's gonna have chemicals, and none of our products have any harsh chemicals. But because of this wax-based coverage, you actually get protection from the sun, which is great. So we're just gonna kind of go in, and like I said, I'm just using the Blenderful, just our little sponge, to blend that in so it'll be flawless coverage. And that's something that we really pride ourselves on with Limelife, that it looks flawless when you're done. Okay, don't really have much over here. Our noses tend to have that, just that redness. I don't know if that just runs in the family. And now she's been using these products for a little while, and so she's pretty familiar. But what I wanted to do today is just kind of show you all kind of just tips and tricks and how you can use it, and even so that she can learn a little bit more about how to apply it on herself. Okay, do y'all see the difference? Hopefully you can see the difference. So far that redness has gone away. And again, we'll cover everything with the foundation shade that's right for her. And if you haven't ever used our foundation shades, we'll get you specifically color matched to the shade that works best for you. And again, probably just runs in our family, but we got red cheeks. We have those rosy cheeks. So I'm just gonna hit just a little bit. I'm just barely going into that palette. You can see I'm not putting it on there too thick. And then the other thing about this foundation that I love is that it is not heavy. So once you would think wax base kind of has the tendency to sound heavy, but it actually just isn't. And it goes on very light. So next I'm going to go in with our diffuser brush into the foundation. And she is an olive 1 foundation or complexion. So I'm just going to go right in, just swirling motions. Which is the thing that I love about applying it with this brush is usually makes it so much faster. So if you're a busy mom or just somebody who has a need to get out the door quick in the mornings or whatever time of day the grocery store is calling, or you're trying to get to church on Sunday morning and Saturday night was later than you intended, then it'll be quick to get you out the door. So, and of course, when I'm doing it on myself, I'm probably a little rougher, but I'm trying to go easy on mom.
You're gentle.
All right. So you would just swirl here. I'll let you make sure I didn't miss any spaces. But it is real gentle and easy. So I'll kind of let her show you. You can just apply it all over easily and perfect. All right. And what I do too, sometimes just a little trick, I'll sometimes take my blender full and go through if I feel like, oh, I got a little heavy in spots or not in others or whatever. And you can just take it and blend it in. So we can just kind of, especially those places where we added the concealer, you know, you're layering your products. And so you want to make sure that, you know, you've gotten it real smooth. And so you might just kind of go in with your blender full like that and make sure that you've gotten it all smoothed out. It doesn't look like, oh, they've added several layers. But again, how it feels on your skin,
good.
Not thick and heavy.
Very light. Yes.
All right, so next we're going to go into our powder. Now we offer tinted powders, just kind of like traditional powders you might think of. But one of our most popular is our translucent powder. And you're going to see it looks white, but I can assure you it's not. But what I love about this powder is that it doesn't matter your foundation shade. The purpose or the role that this powder plays is to really set the foundation. And so we're just going to go and set the foundation with this powder. And it is not going to alter the shade of her foundation in any way because we want the right shade for her. We want her to, we've color matched her. We know this is the right shade for her. So we don't want to change that color in any way. And as you can see, I'm just patting it on. We don't need these big brush strokes. We aren't trying to move the foundation in any way. We're trying to set it right where it is. So we don't want any streaks, brush streaks. That feel like
I was really questioning the white powder when I first bought that product, but it really does work great.
I'll make sure we kind of got you all blended down here. Okay. Next, we're going to go in with one of our bronzers. This bronzer here, a bronzer 1, which is the original bronzer that Limelife started with. And it basically is perfect shade for any skin tone. We have branched out now. We have other shades for darker skin tones, certainly, but this one really works for pretty much all. And all of these products are really highly pigmented, the ones with color. And so a little go a long way, but you can also build upon the color. So if you start with it and you think, oh, I didn't quite get enough, just keep adding, build it. And, you know, so I always start with a little and kind of go from there. And when I get on my brush, I kind of tap it with my finger to make sure I don't have like heavy thickness. You just don't want all that fallout on your face as you're going through. And really the purpose of bronzer is to contour your face. So we're going to just kind of take it right in here on this side, on this cheek, and you're just kind of stroking right up, right above the ear there. Okay. I get a little bit more. I'm always a little bit lighter, especially on somebody else to start with. And the darker you want kind of up here, and then just kind of applying it and then just brushing up just to kind of blend it in. Again, I'm not going back into the color, but you guys can see the difference there. Let me see kind of how this side did. Okay, I think we did pretty good over here. We'll kind of blend it in. The great thing is as you go along, you can always add a little bit more if you think, ooh, you know, it wasn't as dark as I thought. You can also, if you got it too heavy, some days we get going too fast, we get a little heavy handed. You can grab your powder brush. Again, it just had that translucent powder, and you can just kind of go back in and do a little bit of patting or dabbing and kind of blend it in if you need to.
I have done that before.
Speaking from
Especially when you're first starting out, sometimes I would tend to get it a little darker than I really wanted it on one side.
For sure. Okay. So now the other place that I like to use bronzer, and especially kind of as we're transitioning into warmer weather where you will start to get a little sun, but sometimes that's slower than other times, then I'm going to go right up here. We're just going to put a little bit right here along her hairline and down both sides. And really what you're trying to do is elongate the face, but again, we also want that hint of sun-kissed. All right, let's see. So you guys can kind of see, okay. And then we're gonna go down here just a little bit, right on these edges. Again, we really want to elongate it, which this will help with, but we also want that sun-kissed look. Okay, let's see. Perfect. The other thing I'll tell you is, if you're kind of in between shades, so maybe one shade's a little bit too lighter for a little bit light for your skin, but the next shade up would be a little bit too dark, definitely go lighter, and you can add the bronzer and add it maybe a little bit heavier than you would have, and you'll achieve the color that you need. So, okay, the other place I use a little bit of bronzer is on either side of the nose. Doot, doot, doot. Okay. Oh, there we go. Let me see. I did. Okay. So the next thing that I do is blush. So this is one that I absolutely love, kind of as an everyday blush. And I'll tell you, when you look at it, it seems a little bit dark, but again, all of our products are highly pigmented. And so a little bit's going to go a long way. So I'm just going to barely tap in there. And again, I'll tap any excess off. I'm just going to go right here on her cheek. Let's see if I can, might go a little bit more. This brush is pretty clean, so there's no color on it. So it's all right. I'm going to show you guys another trick that I love. Is this blush that's almost gone because I love it. It is called Glowing, and it does just that. So it's a very, very light, almost nude color, but it's got a tiny bit of shimmer, but it's great for highlighting. And so you don't just have to use it as a blush, but what I use is a smaller brush than what I would for blush. And then I kind of come in right here because I really want to highlight. I have to go in a little bit extra just because it's almost out. Right here, and what it's going to help do is just kind of add a little bit of sheen to your cheeks, and again, you're trying to give that illusion of it lifting up. So
Need that.
and then I always do a little bit down the nose right here and right here. And again, just kind of a little bit of extra glow. It's a nice little addition. All right, so we are gonna jump into some eyes, and we're gonna start with eyebrows, of course. All right, so what we're gonna do first is we're actually going to go in with what appears to be a mascara wand with no mascara, and we're gonna do a little brushing because brows are hard. We'll just be honest. And if you're blessed with thick brows, that's awesome. Most people are not.
I am not.
And then we also have those added factors of hormones that play a role and change the makeup of things like our brows quite drastically. And so we're gonna give them all the help we can using these products and kind of build them as we go. So
Mine are very sparse.
sparse is a good word. So we want to brush up. That kind of seems silly, but you want to brush up and then you want to brush down. Okay. And so I talk about this sometimes with other people, that I have one eyebrow that just is like, we're good. And then the other that's like, ah. And I find that everyone says, yes, me too. All right. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do a couple of techniques because I think you definitely have more on this side and less on this side. This one tends to, what I say is kind of like my kids, like one's just like, rah, while the other one's just kind of low key. And so this one is a little rowdy, and then this one's just kind of sparse. So we want to do some filling in over here, but then this one we kind of want to make it lay down so that as we do a little bit of fill in, it just kind of all blends together. So we're going to try a couple of different things. This is our brow gel, and we've actually done this before on your eyes, but we're going to use it, I think, on that one to help it just kind of calm down a little.
Okay.
Then we're going to fill in. This one we're really going to fill in with. So I think actually we'll start over here, and what I'm gonna show you guys a trick. So I was talking earlier about our setting spray. So we've got the primer spray and we have a setting spray. If you take your angled eyeliner brush or something very similar, y'all can see how fine this is, okay? You want something really thin and fine. But if you'll spray it, I'm gonna do this over the sink. If you'll spray it with the spray and then go into a shadow similar to your brow color, that setting spray is gonna help hold it, but it's also gonna make it almost not quite a liquid, but it's gonna give you a little bit of, what am I trying to say? It's gonna allow you to manipulate it more than if you just went in with just a shadow. So what I'm gonna do, I went into one that's called Brownie Points, a very, very dark brown. I don't have a black shade, which you could probably use.
I do sometimes.
Okay. I don't have my jet black that we have, but what I'm doing now, okay, I'm gonna let them see, okay? Y'all, it's gonna get better. It looks a little crazy, but we're gonna just fill in where I made that line. Now, the thing that I want you to know about eyebrows, it's intimidating, but don't get carried away. Follow that natural line. A lot of people have a tendency when we say, kind of outline it and then fill in, they go outline. and nobody needs a brow that large. So
Groucho Marx.
yeah, so just remember, follow your natural line, because you've got it. Even where she's sparse, you can find the line. So it's like connect the eyebrow hairs, and but connect the dots. You'll get it to look more natural that way than if we just went huge. The other cool thing I'll show you in a minute is that if you get, if you start veering out to a little too wide, you can always go in with the blender full and kind of come in, from the top and kind of clean up what you've done, and then from underneath as well. So if it's okay if you get a little bit messy. Okay, let's look in the mirror and let's see, okay? So again, I think she could have used probably a little bit more black in there than my dark brown, but you guys can see how we filled in. It's much easier to do on yourself than it is on someone else, she says. So easy for me to say, right? Easy for me to say right now, but I say practice, practice, practice. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of this darker color, and I'm not remembering at the moment what it's called. I'll tell you in a second, but it's got a little bit more of a black in it, so we can kind of blend it. And really, y'all see what I'm doing, just like little short strokes. We don't want to get too carried away. Okay, how you feel about that one? Okay, about that one? Okay. All right, we're gonna go right in here. Okay, and then I see we kind of got a little fallout here, so we're just gonna go in with that blender full, and it's gonna help pick that up.
Clean it up.
Clean it up. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go this next one. I just want to put a little bit of this brow gel on, and some ladies really swear by it. This isn't a product that I have used every day, just because my brows usually kind of lay down on their own. If I tell them to, can wrangle them a little bit easier. Like I said, it's a gel, so you're kind of using it to coach them where you want them to go. We're just gonna kind of see how that'll work. Okay, and these come in a dark, a medium, and a light, or a clear, I guess, if you just need it for helping manage your brows, but you don't want the color. Okay, so I'm spraying a little bit more. We're gonna go back into that color. And I promised to tell y'all what that second color was. Shimmy Shimmy, thought that was right. Okay, so I blended those two, but again, I don't want her to look lopsided, so even though in the future I might have gone Shimmy Shimmy all the way, we're gonna go Brownie Points and Shimmy Shimmy so that we keep us even as much as possible. So even though she's got a lot more over here, I'm gonna do the very same approach. So I'm gonna follow that natural brow line, and then I'm gonna fill in. All right, so we're just gonna fill in. How we looking?
Good.
The other thing I will say is do not give yourself or set yourself up to the expectation that they're always going to look exact match, because your eyebrows just aren't an exact match of each other. So again, we're going for a natural look. And so it's okay. I mean, you want to get them similar, obviously, but they aren't going to match exactly, and that's okay. We're going to go in now with that other color that I mentioned, Shimmy Shimmy, just to give it a little bit more of that darker shade she needs for her brows. And you'll find, I mean, we can definitely pick what shade is, you know, I can help recommend what shade might work best if you're needing to do your brows. Get a little bit of concealer and kind of go right here just to help lighten that up where I kind of carried it down further. It's not every day I put eyebrows on someone else, so, but I think, yeah.
It's a
definitely.
treat.
You're welcome.
Having somebody else do it.
Next, we're going to start in with our eyeshadows. One of the things that I always start with is a real neutral to give you a great base for whatever shade you're going to go. And it's going to be hard for me to show you this color because all of my palette's breaking. This color right here called Cream Boat, so it is pretty creamy. It's like an off-white color. I'm going to use it on a thicker, almost like a wider concealer type brush. And we're going to go all over, but I'm going to concentrate on going underneath that brow that we just created. We are trying to get the illusion with the eyebrow, and now with this that, you know, her eyes are real open and all of that. And so that having that lighter shade underneath her brow will help lift up and open that eye. I'm going to do the same on the other eye. Okay, and then we're going to go in this center, and we're just going to dab just a little bit to, again, open her eyes up and lighten it right there. Okay. Okay, but that's just our base. We're just getting started. Okay, so we are going to try a few colors. Okay, we're going to go into Gilded Lily right here. It has a little bit of a purple, lavendery purple. Okay, we're going to do this shade right up here, but we're not going to go all the way to the top of that, or to the bottom of that eyebrow, because we really want kind of that that cream boat to really sit there and still give us that illusion that our eyes are even more open. So what I'm doing, like I said, these are highly pigmented, so I'm getting a little bit, tapping my brush, and then I'm going on her eye and applying. And then if I feel like I need more, then we'll go back in and we'll add more. And I kind of like to do a little bit on one eye, go to the other, do a little bit, because as you all know, sometimes it's hard to get the color match. So we're gonna do a little bit on each and kind of go back and forth till we feel like we've got them good where we like them, but we've also got them even. We're looking pretty even, I think. Okay, I think we're looking pretty even there. Okay, see how open her eyes already look just by having left that cream boat right underneath there. And what I tend to do, and we'll probably do, is go back at the end and kind of highlight a little bit with that and accentuate that, make sure we got it like we want it. Okay. Next, we're gonna go in with, this is called I Will Always Love You, like avocado. This green, we both have green eyes. That I know runs in the family. So we're gonna accentuate that with this I Will Always Love You. And we're gonna do that on our lower lid here and in the corner here. So we always want a little bit darker in the corner. And then you're gonna circle and pull, circle and pull. That makes sense. And this shade can get dark quick, and it looks dark, but it can also be used a little lightly. So I definitely, it's one that you'll see me go back in several times before I get the shade I want, but that's just to avoid getting too much in the first swoop, if you will. Swirl, like I said, ever so gently and pull, swirl and pull. You don't want the bulk of your color or shadow to be on that lid. I mean, you want part of it, but you really want the darker in that corner there. There is no right or wrong way to do this. This is just what I have found really works for me. The swirl and pull. Okay. Okay, let's look there. Okay, let's see it. Okay, whoops. All right, that looks really good. I like those colors together on you. Okay, I'm gonna go back in this side just a smidge. One of the things that I try to do is a darker shade in your crease here will also open your eyes more. That darker right in there. Hopefully you guys can see. Okay, yeah, that really opens them up a little bit more. Okay, so there we go. So what you think? That's looking really good. Again, you can't go wrong. Use it at just as it says, blender full. Okay, what do you think?
I like that.
Now we're gonna go in with liner. And liner is another thing I think kind of scares people. So you can go liquid, you can go pencil, or you can even go use the liner or the eye brush that we used earlier for our brows. You can actually go in with that and do a similar technique. And you basically use it like a stamp and kind of stamp that color on. I know Mom prefers our liquid liner just in, it's got a great felt tip, which is awesome. So it's easy to go on and it provides a very, very, very fine line. But if you're somebody who likes a little bit more like of a thicker line, or they like to go in and blend, because a lot of folks like to kind of have that blended, more of a smoky rather than a real fine, harsh line, then our pencils are good for that. A gel, basically, so it's a very creamy pencil. The trickiest part with that is to getting your point. And so once you've sharpened it, you can even just take it and swirl it on your finger to help make sure that you've got that point you need when you're making that line. So I'm gonna go in, this is our black. We've got black, brown, and we actually have a nude or a natural color, which is really great if you want to put kind of under your eyes to really help open them. You can, some folks layer them, so they put the light first and then the dark under to get their eyes open, but then still have the liner. The other thing I'll tell you about these is once they've set, they are waterproof, which is wonderful if you tend to have either allergies or just, naturally have runny, eyes that run. All right, so I'm gonna see how this goes on you. We'll start on the bottoms first, and I'll kind of show you guys what I do. I try not to take it all the way over unless I'm doing a more dramatic eye. Today I did more of a dramatic eye, so you'll see that my liner is going all the way to the center. Your everyday makeup, if you're not trying to do as dark or smoky, I did grays, and so I really wanted that thick line, but you can kind of manipulate it as you wish. So, all right, let's see, I don't know. And I always hold my eye to really try to get as tight as I can so that line will be as smooth as possible. Okay, let's look at that really quickly and see what we think. I just did this top liner. Okay, definitely opens you up. Okay, I'm gonna go this side next and then we'll go back. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. Awesome. Okay.
I don't have my glasses on, so I have to look really close.
Okay, I'm gonna finish this one off over here. Okay, so next we're gonna go to the bottom. We'll see how I do. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's look at that one. Okay.
Oh wow, look at the difference.
I know, isn't that crazy?
That's kind of fun.
All right, so I'll have you look up on this side. I'm not going right up against the eye. I hope that makes sense. You're not trying to get yourself to, right on top of that. You want to go a little bit down. Yeah, a little below. Okay, I'm gonna get this one to match a little bit better. Okay, that looks really good. Look at that. How bright her eyes are. Look at that. Pretty. So pretty. So fun. Okay, so next, before we do mascara or lips or anything, we always go in with our setting spray. Now, certainly if you forget, which I'm guilty of sometimes.
It has happened.
Yes. You can always do it after your mascara and your lips, but it's just prime time is before that. So and there's two different versions. It's a little surprised when you're not the one pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
There's 2 different versions, so time setter, and then there's also our oil strike. So if you tend to have very oily skin, or you tend to throughout the day get more oil in your skin and find your face gets shinier and things like that, then that's the version that you would choose. Both are going to do the same things and approach it, but just approach it in a little bit different way based on your skin type and skin, what it does. So she is ready. I'm not going to make her put on mascara in front of you guys because that's hard to do.
Hard.
Exactly. But what we'll do is we'll pick out a good lip for her, and then she can add mascara, and then we'll share a picture of the final. But let's look at our lips now. What are some of your favorites that you've used in the past, or that you typically?
The ruby chocolate, of course, I use that a lot, just day to day. Wedding cake, I love wedding cake. And then, there are times when you just, when a girl needs a bright red, and I do the bright red, but yeah, for sure. But
awesome.
Probably wedding cake and ruby chocolate are my very favorites.
Okay, this is our wedding cake. This one is almost out. But y'all can see this one actually has is a great color, and it has a little shimmer to it. So not all the shades have a shimmer. So ruby chocolate that she's talking about is one of our most popular, newest enduring lip colors, and it has sold out, I think, 3 times. Every time it launches, it sells out again because it's just great. But it's more of a matte. So we have some that have a shimmer and some that are a matte. And when I say enduring lip color, so that's this type of lip color. And what that does, it's going to go on like a gloss because you've got this wand, but it's going to finish like a lipstick. And then the enduring piece is that you don't have to keep reapplying throughout the day. Now you can touch up and things like that, but in theory, it's really going to last the majority of the day without having to do all that touch up. And it comes in lots of wonderful shades. And then we also have lipsticks and lip glosses, but these really are kind of everybody's go-to because of the enduring and the ease of putting them on, and of course all the different shades.
And I learned a couple of things today, even though I've been using the products for a while, but the highlighting feature, which is something I haven't been doing, and I can really see the difference. So I love that. And then just a little bit more of the brow technique. I struggle there. I'm getting better with practice, but those 2 things were really helpful.
Yeah. Well, we thank you for joining us. We hope it has been helpful. If you have any questions, I would love to answer those for you, to walk you through the products we have. Let me know. But thank you for watching, and hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks.
Thanks.